Greetings. Everybody's got to eat, right? Or what if there's not enough left for everybody to eat? Then what? What happens if there's not enough food left for everybody to eat? Sounds crazy, right? Far-fetched. Like, yeah, we can never run out of food. But I beg to differ. You guys remember last year what the grocery stores looked like, right? I have some images that I took myself that I wanted to share with everyone. When I took them at the time, I didn't really know what I was going to do with them. But now I see that they definitely served a purpose. So today, brothers and sisters, I want to talk about food shortages. Yes, food shortages. Not enough food for everyone to consume. It sounds crazy when you think about it, especially being in the United States, right? But it's definitely a real possibility. Don't anybody get it twisted. You see what's going on, so it could definitely happen, right? Or maybe it's already happening. Okay, you don't believe me, huh? Let's examine the evidence. Right now, the price of food is through the roof. You've all seen how much meats cost. Milk, eggs, cheese. Those are the basics. One might even call them essentials. And yet, these things are starting to average a daily price that's constantly rising. So, if the cost of food is constantly rising, but the pay wages aren't rising, that could cause a food shortage. Now, hear me out for a minute. Hear me out. The food can be there and be available, but if you can't afford to pay for it because of the price, that can cause you a food shortage. That's one side of the coin. Here's the other side. If for whatever reason this pandemic decides to change narratives again, right now I think we're dealing with what? The Delta airline variant? Let's say it decides to turn into the Southwest Airlines variant next. That's going to change everything. How much do you think the price of food will go up then? What do you think the shelves will look like then? You all see the images. This is knocking at our door. This is not far away. Now, I don't know when, but the reason I'm presenting you all with this information and sharing my thoughts on it is to hopefully jog your mind to maybe say, let me pick up a few items here and there while I can. That was a messed up feeling last year for a lot of people who didn't have food put away for a rainy day. They were in grocery stores dealing with all kinds of different personalities of other people who didn't have anything put away. You don't want to be caught in that position again. You shouldn't have to go through something twice in order to learn from it, which you should have gained the first time around. But in the extent that you do decide to want to trust the system, I'm just trying to give you a little forewarning. Now, what you want to mainly have on hand, brothers and sisters, is water and canned goods. These are the things you want to purchase when you buy food. Right now, while things are still plentiful for the most part, continue on with your daily routine. But while you're performing your daily duties, I suggest you pick up a few canned goods and a couple of cases of water, if you can afford it. I know everybody can't afford it. So work within your means. Okay? That's the first solid piece of advice that I can share with you. Second, learn how to start living off of less food. Because in the event that there is a food shortage, whatever food supplies you do have put away for that rainy day, you want to be able to stretch that out so it can last as long as it can. You can't eat the same way you're eating now if there is a food shortage. Got to keep that in mind. So now, your body is used to a certain amount of calories, right? You want to start to work on reducing your calorie intake so that if there's a food shortage, you won't lose your mind. Or better yet, your body won't make you feel like you're losing your mind because you can no longer consume that same calorie count. Learn to drink more water and eat less food. The body can only survive 3 days without water. The body can survive quite some time without food. Also, work on eliminating foods from your diet that aren't beneficial. One might be saying, well, what does he mean by beneficial? Isn't all food beneficial? It gives us the balance and the calories and everything that we need to grow, right? At least that's what they taught you in school. No, all food is not beneficial. Some foods provide more of what the body needs. Others just taste good. So you have to learn which ones you need and which ones you don't. Which ones are a treat for you and which ones are a necessity for you. You have to learn this, brothers and sisters. You don't have a whole lot of time to get this. Everything is so unstable right now. Literally from day to day, we don't know what we're going to awaken to. Food shortage today, earthquake tomorrow, flood the next day. We just don't know, brothers and sisters. All over the earth, there's chaos going on right now. So we would all be living our lives as fools if we thought that this place, yes, the US of A, was obsolete to what the other countries are facing. So, I hope what I'm sharing with you all is resonating, because this is important. You can take it lightly if you desire. I guarantee you, you will be in a line somewhere begging your government, not mine, for help. You don't want to end up like that. You don't have to end up like that if you take the necessary steps now to prepare. So, all this going to the mall and making sure you have the latest fashion and going out and spending exuberant amounts of money on lavish meals at high-priced restaurants, you might want to curtail that and take some of that money and put towards building you some type of food storage. I don't want to say prep, because honestly, everyone should already have extra food stored somewhere in their home. These are necessities, people. Food. medication if you need it, toiletries, plastic utensils, paper plates, toilet paper, as we learned from last year how valuable toilet paper is. I mean, my goodness, last year you would have thought toilet paper was more valuable than gold. But I digress. The necessities are what you need to be focusing on right now, brothers and sisters. We are living in some very serious times. Do not lose sight of that because a couple of things open back up. Don't get too comfortable where you're at. What you need to be doing is focusing on where things are going so you can be prepared. Now check this out. This was 2 days ago. 2 days ago. The other images are from last year. That last shot was from 2 days ago. Hopefully some of what I'm saying is sticking. So don't play around with this, brothers and sisters. You might not see it now, but food shortages are already here. It's not widespread, but it's based off of your income and the physical demand for the items. Produce is not one of those items that I have noticed to really be scarce right now, because for the most part, most Americans don't eat a whole lot of stuff that they supposed to be eating. You understand what I'm saying? So produce, depending on what side of the country you're on, you can probably find that for the most part. But your meat, your eggs, your cheeses, those things right there. Those things right there. So I hope you all were able to get something from what I just shared with you. And don't be fooled, brothers and sisters. We will be going through these things and experiencing these things in the coming months and possibly years to come. Now, I share information not to scare you, but to aware you. I'm going to say that again. I share this type of information not to scare you, but to aware you. So I want you all to work on what it is we all discussed today, what I just shared with you. Try your best to implement it in your life. Get started yesterday, okay? Because you don't have a whole lot of time. We're already through this year for the most part. I bid you all a farewell.